One of the documents we have, it is related to the financial statement. We have a financial statement version. Under that, what we can do, so whatever the values we have under our different GL, so we can translate those values in the form of financial statement, which we can use for the external reporting. How we can make the external, how we can make this financial statement. So we can do it under the financial statement version, and the transaction code is OP58. So let's run this transaction code OP58.
No problem.
So the transaction code is OP58. So we have following these statements version already in the system. We can check any one. So for example, here randomly I just select this 2070. So we need to have here the ID for the financial statement version, which we can have it up to the 4 character code alphanumeric. We need to provide the description for this financial statement version and in which language you want to have it. Then we have this chart of account. These are the information we need to maintain. So let's go to the new entry, give the ID, just a minute. Okay, give the ID here. It is, what is the company code we are working? INK, no? INK.
INK0.
And this is the financial statement version for INK0 or for INK. Language is English. And chart of account ID we have here, it is, it is INK1. So we can have here INK1, save it, and enter. Now we need to click on this button, financial statement item. So this is a standard format system will just give you where we need to go in under it. So here we have with us the item liability assets. So here if I want to add a new item, because these are the items standard, these are the default item given by the SAP under a standard format. If I want to add the new item, so for that it is saying that keep the cursor on the company code and then click on the create button, so we can add the new item if you want. So for example, here we have the company code, click on the create item. So we have the new item. Let's have here the name as income and expenditure, income, expenditure, and we have the next item as surplus loss carried to the balance sheet, and then enter. So system has given us these items, and also along with this, if you want to have the text for these items, for example, liability and assets, we have here the no text. If you can add the text, in that case, you need to double click on this, and system will give you the option that you can add the text. So let's have here the liabilities, and here we have the asset. After that, how you want to present your financial statement. So if you want the expenditure at the top, then the system will just show you liabilities or the assets. Or if you want liability assets at the top and income expenditure later. So accordingly, we need to maintain them under the hierarchy. So for example, here we have the income expenditure. It is saying that you can change the position also. How we can change the position? We have a button called reassignment, so that we can change the position of our item. It is saying that let's say we have the liability, and if you want to change the position of the liability, then you need to use this reassignment button. How we can use this button, I'll just show you. For example, this income and expenditure, you want to be above this, or you want to be above this liability or asset. So what we do, we first select the income. After that, we need to select this button called select, and then where you want to place it. So you just keep the cursor on that. So for example, I want to place it just above the liability. So I will just click on this or keep the cursor on this net profit position. And after that, I will just click on this reassignment button. So here it will just give you that at which level you want to reassign. So we will select here the same level, enter. Now you can just see the position has been changed. So when we will be publishing the statement, so system will just show you income first, then liability and asset. But if you want, after the income, system should give you expenditure. So we need to also select the expenditure in the same way. Select where you want to place it. So I want to place it just below the income. So just keep the cursor on the income, click on the reassignment button, and then press enter button. So now we have with us income, expenditure, liability, assets. So here we have these items in the order. After that, what we want to do? So if you want to add the new item, for example, here it is saying that within the liability we have multiple subgroup, and if you want to take this subgroup, so or the I would say account group. So what we need to do? So here we can add the new item under the liability. So here we will keep the cursor on the liability. We will click on this button, create button, and then we will add the items. So for example, these are the item we have. So simply we can copy paste also. If you want to write it here, we can write it also. Let's copy paste and then enter. Enter. So these are the item we have added. Same way we want to add the item for the assets. For the assets, we have these three items. We can keep the cursor. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for the latest videos and notifications. You can contact us for online SAP trainings and certifications. Thank you. On the asset, click on the create item. So here in these item under the liability, I have added one item called profit and loss appropriation account. Under the asset, I have added a item called miscellaneous expenditure not yet registered. So this we will be using for the income. This we will be using for the expenditure. So how? I'll just show you. Same way it is saying that for the income and expenditure, we need to add the groups. So here these are the group I'm going to add, and these are the same group we have maintained in the chart of account. So let's have here the income. Keep the cursor on this. Click on the create item. Same way, copy paste, and we can do it for the expenditure. Same way we can do it for the expenditure. So if let's say wrongly you have added this node called income, so you want to remove it. So select it, and then here we have the remove or delete button. Delete. Now we want to add the expenditure. So keep the cursor on the expenditure. These are the item I want to be part of the expenditure. Select these item, copy, and add it here. Click on the create button. Keep the cursor on the expenditure, and so these are the items we have added. Now for these items, we need to also we need to add the GL or assign the GL as well. So before that, it is saying that what we need to do. It is saying that we have the format given by the SAP. Under that, you will find there would be a item called net result profit. And for that, the text is not given. So let's have here the text as net profit transfer from the P&L. So this is what we are going to add here. In this format, it is saying that we will find a item called net result profit. So this is the net result profit. We'll change the or we will add the text over here, and this is what net profit transferred from P&L, and we can press enter button. Same way it is saying that we will have the loss, and after adding this name, so it is saying that we need to reassign this item. So under which item we need to add it? It is saying that we need to take it under the profit and loss appropriation account. Profit and loss appropriation account. So let's select it. We will keep the cursor on this. Click on the select button. Where I want to assign it, I want to assign it under the profit and loss appropriation. So we will just go down. Here we have the profit and loss appropriation, and we will keep the cursor on this, and after that we can click on the reassign button. Here I want to reassign it under it. So if you want to reassign it under it, and for that we need to select here the reassignment node as sub node. Select here sub node. So system will take it under the profit and loss appropriation. Same way here we have the net result loss. We'll change the text first. Let's have the text as net loss transferred from P&L, and after that we need to press enter button. Same way we will add it, or we will reassign it under the option called expenditure not yet adjusted. Under the assets we'll have this item. So I want to take it under this item only, and for that what we need to do, first again we need to select this net loss, select it, and where you want to place it, under the sub node miscellaneous expenditure not yet registered, click on the reassign button, and the reassign node is going to be sub node. I'm going to save it. Now what next we have, it is saying that we need to now add the GLs. So we have the GL with us, and accordingly we can give the range. So for example, it is saying that if we have the share capital, we can give the range as 100,000 to 100,099. Then we have, actually this is the same range. We need to take it from where? We need to take it from the way we have maintained our chart of account. So for example, here we have OBD4, and we have the chart of account ID, which is INK. So here you can just see these are the item we have. So we need to add these items, and accordingly we can give the range for the account group. For example, if you just see for the first account group share capital, what is the range given here? So we have the share capital, and we can see the range. It is from 100,000 to 100,099. So same way we can have here. Let's go back. Here we have the, just if you want to cover first balance sheet account, so we can just close the income and expenditure. So we have the balance sheet account, and within that let's have here the liability first. Double click on the, or keep the cursor on the share capital, and here you can just see there is a button called assign account. Click on this, and what is the range of your account, so you need to mention here. So the range is going to be 100,000 to 100,099. That is the range. And here you want to take the balances, whatever the balances these GL will have, whether these are having the debit balance or credit balance. So we need to select both. After that we need to press enter button. So system will just show you the GL range like this only. Now this is we have done for the share capital. Let it be for other also. We will be adding the GLs. So if we have the
So
next as
can I ask
accumulate.
one question here? So what if I didn't create like that, only have a liability? I can add to the liability, the numbers?
Which num Okay, what will happen? Obviously, system is, if although system will have the balance for the cumulative depreciation and you don't have the GL, then you will not find any value for the cumulative depreciation. It will come blank. System will be
No,
take.
no. I mean, I may have a GL, but the range I'm talking that we took, like here we took the range from 100,000, right?
Yeah. So why we have
That
given the
range is
range?
only
We
for
are saying
liability.
here we are saying to the system that take the balances from these GL. If you will not give or if you will not give the correct range, then obviously system is not going to fetch the balances correctly for your balance sheet under this item.
Okay. So no, what I'm saying, if I have only one account for the share capital, right? Instead of so many,
You can take
a
the single one also. Here I have just
single
given the
one
range.
also. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You can have the single. So now we can press enter button. Same way we can have for the accumulated depreciation. So count assignment we'll have from 100, 100 to 100, 199 debit credit. Then we have secured loan 100, 200 to 100, 299 debit credit. Unsecured loan 100, 300 to 100, 399 debit credit. And we will just go down share capital, not the share capital, current liability and provision. And we have here the range from 100, 400 to 499 current liability. Let me just check it. 400 current liability, we have the range 100, 500. Unsecured loan we have, I think unsecured loan we have 100, 400. And secured loan we have, and we have here reserves and surpluses. I think reserves and surplus, this one. Okay, so if you have done the wrong assignment, so yes, we can correct it. First, let's cover this reserves and surpluses. So reserves and surpluses, what you will do, so for example, if there is a overlapping, system will alert you for that and give you the error message. So here the same range I want to take it for this item as well. So let's see what will happen. You can just see it will say that already we have this range available with this item. So I need to first delete from this item, or what I can do, I can just make the changes from this one only. So let it be from 100, 400 to 100, 499. Let it be here 100, 300 to 399 and 100, 200 to 299. And here we have the reserves, and for that we can have the range from 100, 100 to 100, 199. Now we have the current liability. For that we can give the range from 100, 500 to 599. So these are the items we have added. We can save. Same way we can add the item for the assets. So let's have it a fixed asset. Let's have it a range from 200,000 to 200,000 99 debit credit. Then we have the current asset. The range is going to be 200, 100 to 200, 199 debit credit. Checkbox we will select. So this we have done for the balance sheet. Let's have here for the P&L. We have the income and expense, and we can go up. We can go up, and we can do it for the income. For the sales, we have the range available from 300,000 to 300,099 debit credit. Other income we can have from 300, 100 to 300, 199 debit credit. Increase decrease of stock we can have from 300, 200 to 300, 299 debit credit. And after that we can cover expense where we have the range for raw material consumption from 400,000 to 400,099 debit credit. Personnel cost, we have 400 102, 400 199, debit credit. Manufacturing, we can cover from 400 200 to 400 299, debit credit. And admin cost, we can cover from 400 300 to 400 399, debit credit. Interest item, we can take it between the GL 400 400 to 400 499, debit credit. Last we have depreciation, which we can take it from 400 500 to 400 599, debit credit. Now we can save it once again. We will come out of here, and what else we can do? So it is saying that when the system is going to show you the balance sheet, so you want to see the subgroup total, you want to see the start or end of the name you want to have for that subgroup. So for that subgroup here means assets, liability, these are the main group. Within that we have the subgroup. So if you want the system to show you the name for those item also, and the show the subtotal. So for that, what we need to do? So here we will come. So first of all, for the main group. So for the main group, we have four main group: income, expenditure, liability, asset, and for that we have the we have the start of the group, we have the end of the group. So start of group is nothing but the header, whereas end of the group is footer. So for the income and expenditure, if you want to have the header and footer, so here we can give the header as incomes, and footer or the end of the group we can give it as total income. And if the total income system will just show you the total also, so by default it will be selected. So we can press enter button. Same way we can do it for the expenditure. So we want to have the expenditure as a start group will be same as my item name, and end of the group or the footer is going to be total expenditure. Liability, start of the group we can have liability, end of the group we want to have total liability. After this we have the assets. So start of the group asset and end of the group total asset. Now within that we have the subgroup, and for that also you want the system should show you the header and footer. So accordingly we can give it. So let's have here for the sales, we don't want to have the header. Let's come up with the footer only. Other income, let's have here the end of the group. Increase decrease of stock, let's have here end of the group. After that we have the expenditure. So we want to have the footer for the sub item or the sub node, and we can now go to the liabilities. So in the liability, if you want to have here the different name for the share capital, let's have here the source of capital as a start of the group. I will take the name, and end of the group is share capital only. We have the reserves and surpluses. So I want to take the name in the end of the group. Accumulated depreciation, end of the group or footer I want to have not the header. Secured loan, unsecured loan, and current liability. So in place of current liability, you want to give here the different name. Let's have here. We have the liability, or let it be the same name. I want to have under the footer only, not in the header I want to have it. Same way we have the assets. So in the asset we have fixed asset. So for the fixed asset, in the start of the group, I want to have application of asset, and we have footer as fixed asset. Current asset I want to have only in the footer, not in the header. That's it. So I'm going to save it. Now I want to generate this statement. In order to generate this statement, it is saying that we have this transaction code. We can run this transaction code. So we can come out of here. We can run this transaction code. System will take us to the screen. So we have to run the financial statement. Chart of account ID we need to mention here. And then we have here the GL range as 1 to all. Company code we need to mention here. And here we have, you can just see by default system has given you the financial statement ID as INK0, and it is for the reporting year 2021 and previous year. So in the previous year, if you don't have the values, then obviously system will not show you anything. It will be blank. But if you will have the value, system will just show you the previous value for the same item and this year value, and also it will give you the variance report. It will compare you the values for each of the item and it will give you the variance report. So how it will be displayed? So we can click on the execute button and we can just see here we have the item. Just go down. So we have the item. These are for the income. You can just see the start of the group. It is coming as income. End of the group. It is coming as total income. So we have here the between that range system has found the balance only for the GL 300,000 and it is 110,000 minus means credit balance. Same way we can just come down. So we can just see here we have the expenditure. So if you just see the order is same which we have mentioned in that node or in that financial statement version. So now we have the expenditure. Within this expenditure, we have the salaries, we have the cost of goods sold account. So these are the GL system has taken. And if you just notice here, so for the main node, which is expenditure, so we have the header and we have the footer as total expenditure. Whereas for the sub item, let's say we have for the personal cost, admin, and the depreciation. So we have the footer only. We have not added the header. That is the reason we can't see here the header. And if you just see here, the for each of the sub items, system is just showing you the subtotal. So we have here the 711 000 209 000 55,000 and the total grand total is 975 000. So here we have the last year figure which we don't have, so that is the reason it is showing you zero, and absolute difference or the variance we have here accordingly the same as our current year values. If you just go down, so here we can just go down after the expenditure we can see. So we have the values for the asset. If you just see for the assets, we have given for the fixed asset, given the header as application of asset. So that is the reason system is just showing you this header. And here we have we have these balances for these GL. So we have the footer as fixed asset, and same way we can just go down. It will show you the total assets. So here we can see we have the value for the total assets. And you can just see here we have for some item we have the previous year balance also. That is the reason system is just showing you the previous year balance for the same item in this previous year column, and we have accordingly the variance. So now we can just go little up. We can see here we have the liability. You can just observe here for the liability we have the balance. It is same as my asset balance, so it is 480,001. And if you just see the balance for the asset, it is 480,001. So both are matching. So this is what we can like have, and that is how we can have that financial statement. Okay.
Okay.
So that is the end of the financial statement.
Thanks for watching this video. You can like, comment, share, also email us for more details. Thank you.